your identity. Okay, like if we strip it away, like nothing, you're not Janvi, you're not Kapoor's daughter, you're not Sridevi's daughter, you're not an actress, you're not like just you have a clean slate right now. और कोई तुझे पहली बार देख रहा हो, okay, 0.01% जिसको पता ही नहीं है who are you. That person is watching. What do you want the world to know you as? How would you want to paint your identity?
People don't see me for what I am, or they don't see me for the truth. They see me through their lenses of bias and perception and all of those things. So I guess what I would want is that they just try to see me, keeping their biases aside. I don't think I want to show one side or not side. I said जो भी हूँ, अच्छी हूँ, बुरी हूँ, शायद बहुत गलत हूँ, शायद बहुत बेवकूफ हूँ, शायद बहुत फोनी हूँ. बस देखो, लेकिन अपने biases को दूर रख के.
And what do you think is the bias which majority people have?
It's the privilege, it's the elitism, it's the lens with which one views even my entire industry. That just the moral ambiguity with which they perceive all of us act, which is not true at all. I think if they can keep that lens away, yeah.
Do you see yourself as, like, do you see yourself without bias?
No, I think I see myself too much from, and I was speaking to a psychiatrist yesterday. He was like, you are too burdened by the guilt of privilege.
Are you?
Yeah. But it's okay.
What's the guilt about?
It's not guilt as much as I'm very intrinsically aware कि मुझे लाइफ में बहुत कुछ आसानी से मिला है और बहुत सारे opportunities मिली हैं. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि मेरे लाइफ में कुछ संघर्ष नहीं रहा है बहुत है, लेकिन मैं बात करने जाऊंगी भी तो I don't know if that's what people want to hear from me, because I inherently have more than the common man, and the things that the common man has to go through I cannot even fathom. So I feel very conscious of, he said that I self-flagellate a lot.
What do you mean by that?
That I feel the need to convince myself and people around me that I'm worthy of certain opportunities, where it's okay that it's just dumb luck. And it's okay that it's just happened. And if it happened to anyone else, they would just be happy with it. But I... Like, for example, it's a very small thing and I get a lot of joy from doing it. But the fact that Tirupati, a place that I love going to, has like a VIP darshan, which is what I usually go for because it's more convenient, it's great, and you know, of course you have to pay a certain amount, whatever. It's convenient, and it's probably the only way in which I can go, even in terms of safety. But I know that there's a plethora of people there that want to get that darshan, that wait in line for hours, for days, and they don't get the time that I do with in front of Lord Balaji. And for many people in the same position as me, it's like, yeah, this is the privilege that I have. This is the life that I've gotten. I can go and I can enjoy it and be thankful and feel that gratitude and move on with my life. But and not that it's some path-breaking thing that I climb up those 3,500 steps of Tirupati. Many people do it, but I'm so hyper about it. I'm so like, if I'm going to go see Balaji, I have to climb, I have to earn my right to see him. I cannot fathom that I have just been born with the opportunity where I can go and like do this darshan and see him that easily. It doesn't compute to me. And it makes me feel a certain way.
Why do you feel so? Har jagah you bring this a lot.
What?
Earn the right. Why do you feel the need to just keep reminding yourself that you have earned the right?
Because people have always reminded me, na. And I don't want to attribute it just to that. I hope it means that it's because I'm like a better person than the average human. But I mean, let's be honest. I think it's because I've been made so aware of my privilege and that she's not earned it, she's not earned it, she's not earned it. So I'm like,
Is it exhausting?
You know, now every time anyone talks to me about my first film, Dhadak, they're like, but you were so good in it. We loved Dhadak, and it was like it earned a lot of money, and they're like, oh, but why can't you do that thing again, or like that space? And they really remember it with a lot of. Even when Dhadak 2 released, I think there was a lot of nostalgia about Dhadak, but my memory of Dhadak was very different. I was depressed after Dhadak.
Kyun?
I thought, हो गया यार, मेरा पैकअप हो गया, people hate me. I was proper depressed. All of my validation in my life I got from my mom. She went away. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shift that to the audience. And I was expecting some across the board acceptance, which I didn't know doesn't exist. I was only concentrating on the negative. I didn't concentrate or even acknowledge the fact that it was I think it was the most commercially successful film with newcomers up until Sayyara. I didn't even know, I didn't even clock to me that it was a hit. I just knew that I sucked and people hated me. And so now when people
and
are...
why?
Because I only looked at the negative. And that became my reality. And I lived with that for so long, but it wasn't true. Also, I think it's in human nature to idolize and fantasize about we're all like nostalgic creatures, right? ये अच्छा नहीं, पहले जो था वो ज़्यादा अच्छा है. और जब पहले जो था वो हो रहा था, actuality, everything's better in retrospect, I feel.
I say, you tend to do that a lot? Just look at negative in life also?
Yeah, because it would come under the guise of, okay, how do I better myself? I can't better myself looking at what I've got going for me, so let's look at what doesn't work. But that's been bad, because then you're only looking and then you're manifesting that. So I'm not doing that anymore. I know I'm good.
No, but do you tend to look at the negatives everywhere you go?
Not so much.
Aspect of your life?
No, not so much anymore. Oh God, that sounds awful. Like a very unhappy person.
Not unhappy. Some people can be. I look at a lot of negatives in my life just because from the point, because it helps me become better. Like I really, like on my best day, I would see myself as कि कुछ भी नहीं किया, क्या है ये? Just because it helps me get
better,
much better, because I improve myself.
That's what I used to think, and it has led to a significant improvement in my craft. But I think you sort of also teach people how to see you depending how you see yourself, because that percolates into how you carry yourself. Especially in my profession. If you enter every room like, अरे मैं बहुत बेचारी, मुझे तो कुछ नहीं पता, मैं तो इतनी बेकार हूँ और सर प्लीज मुझे काम दे दो प्लीज, then सब लोग तुम्हें वैसे ही देखेंगे, ऑडियंस भी तुम्हें वैसे ही देखेगी.
True.
And it's important, I think, especially for me, to acknowledge that my skill set does have a certain amount of value, because I've been in the presence of some of the greatest artists that this country has ever produced, and I know where I stand, and I'm proud of where I stand.
What do you think people understand about you but not understand fully?
I think, again, I find this to be an aspect of human nature where they like putting people in boxes. And so they can't compute or understand when someone can fit multiple boxes or is challenging the box that they're being put into. I think they really want me to be in the bimbo, privileged, spoiled brat party girl box. And I'm not saying that I've never been to a party. I'm not saying that I only quote Immanuel Kant and Friedrich Nietzsche. I think I called a giraffe a pakshi in some old interview. So I say dumb shit also, but I enjoy challenging the boxes that people put me in, and I think that has thrown people off a lot. Like, I think the fact that I enjoyed doing Gunjan Saxena, but I also enjoyed dancing in a song with Junior NTR, Chutta Malay, and I didn't mind that my navel was showing, and I was I like the multiplicity of what my skill set is. But I think it throws people off. And I think that, okay, if she's a dumb, spoiled girl, then like be in that. We like you for like being like a pretty nepo kid. It's sweet only. Like we'll accept you. Why are you trying to go into another lane? You know, I've realized maybe people will see me for who I really am or for the work that I do or am doing. Maybe they'll see it now. Maybe they'll see it later. Maybe they'll see it like after I'm dead. But I do believe that the intention, fervor, and passion with which I'm working and carrying myself, it will reach who it has to. So I'm pretty chill now.
So you feel कि लोग एक box में डालते हैं आपको and they don't understand fully that you want to maybe break that box and you can do like 20 other things as well. They just want to see you in one box, like in one image, in one type of persona.
Yeah, not just
right?
me, everyone, right?
Let's just stick to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you can do like 20 boxes, right? Or maybe you want to, or you want a challenge.
Yeah.
Right. And people don't see that fully.
Yeah,
Because
I think
you said that you're not, you are, there's a part of you which is dumb, privilege, nepo kid, and there's a part of you which talks about the where you challenge yourself, you're disciplined, you talk about causes, you stand for certain things, and then you read this politics and philosophy in the world. So that people, you want people to see you for everything that you are. And people don't see you for everything you are.
Yeah, firstly, I think it's easier to become successful if you identify a box that people see you in and you give them what they want and you find a way to be likable within that box. I think a lot of things have eluded me because I want to dabble in multiple boxes and I want to challenge things and myself and grow. And again, your question about wanting people to expand their horizon in terms of how they see me. This sounds very shitty, but I don't know if I'm that important. I just want to be able to be all of these things. And as a result of the industry that I come from, I can't be all of these things unless the audience gives me a chance to. But you know, Raj, मेरे लिए क्या है? I felt like जैसे मैं दिखती हूँ, लोग मुझसे सारी मेरी आइडेंटिटी हर बार पे छीनने की कोशिश करते हैं. I felt like that.
Okay, explain.
Like, okay, oh, she looks good or she's looking like this. That's not her. That's fucking plastic. It's surgery. The opportunities she's gotten, the work that that's not her. That's because of nepotism. It's because of her mom. Oh, okay, she said this in an interview or she spoke like that. That's not her. That's PR training. तो मतलब मेरा फिर क्या है? मैं क्या पुतली हूँ? I'm a mannequin. People are just like feeding. Like, what am I? And the aspect of my life and my personality that I'm most proud about, and I think I may have said this to you when we were speaking that day, is how I see the world. And my experiences have shaped that. And jo bhi bolna hai bolo, but don't take that away from me. So even though I might have felt a bit staged or tentative in other interviews or interactions, that's because you guys me up a bit. You did. And then when there were glimpses of me being myself, you were like, it's fucking PR. So then I was like...
So when you sit alone, okay, because you must be thinking about these things a lot, right?
What?
It's fair.
Yeah.
I like the honesty. But when you, like, do you... Actually, let me not preempt. Let me ask you open it.
Okay.
So when you sit alone, there's no phone, there's no one around to talk to, just like you alone, like you sit in silence. Okay. What thoughts come into your mind? Do you sit alone?
No.
You know, there was a research done that people will be okay, like a majority of people, more than 80% or some, are okay to be given mild electric shocks than to sit 15 minutes in silence?
No, I can sit 15 minutes since I don't want an electric shock. Yeah.
So do you sit alone?
You know, my work requires me to be around a lot of people all the time. And they're always like pulling and twitching and saying dance monkey dance or cry monkey cry and all of those things. And I love it. And so I enjoy my solitude. But I find that I've created a space in my life with people that I trust where it feels like alone time, even when I'm with them. I feel very myself. And because of the nature of my work and travel and timelines, if I have free time, I'd rather spend it with them.
But do you sit alone ever?
Yeah, I was sitting alone yesterday.
Okay.
No one was home.
What were you thinking? What thoughts come into your head when you're alone?
I was thinking about how I need to watch Dhurandhar 2. I was thinking about... I think I'm a very melancholic person, you know.
What do you mean by that?
I'm a Piscean. I don't know if you believe in astrology.
I don't know. Explain.
I'm a dreamer. So I love daydreaming. And because I've become very uppity now, I think that's a result of the people that I'm spending time with. They've sort of projected that onto me. And that's become the tempo with which I live my life. But the reason I guess I'm drawn to even reading about these philosophers or questioning patterns in geopolitics or human nature, human behaviors, because I find that melancholic people have a tendency to think that everything is pointless. And I can very easily go there.
That everything is pointless.
Yeah. And so I need to invigorate and stimulate my mind constantly, mostly with art. So I love watching movies and reflecting on performances, on art, on
world cinema,
things like that, even reading. But when I'm with myself, I talk to myself a lot.
What do you talk about?
Like fictional scenarios.
Give me an example.
Like I used to talk to myself as if I was on Coffee with Karan. Oh my God, I feel like this is a psychoanalysis session. You're making notes. I just talk to myself in general, fictional, like a conversation that I wish I had with my dad, that I know I'll never have the guts to say. I'll have that conversation and I'll rile myself up so much and then I'll sleep. Like, or I will actually get genuinely existential about things, but my company pulls me out of it. I also spend a lot of time with my dogs, which makes me very happy.
Tell me something that you've always wanted to ask your dad when you were a kid, but you couldn't up until now.
I think something I wanted to ask him and I still want to ask him, but I know it sends him into a state of frenzy, and so I won't get a rational answer, is he is maybe the most generous man that I know. And I would invite him to introspect about how that generosity extends to anyone and everyone. But sometimes it eludes the people who are closest to him.
Why does he do that? You want to know that?
No, I just want him to introspect.
Yeah, like you want to know the reason.
I don't even want
to know the reason. Like
no, I just want him to
think about it.
Or tell me if it's not a pattern and if it's just the way that I've seen his life.
कि आप दुनिया के लिए तो सब ले लो, generous हो, but आपके जो close one है उनके लिए शायद आप उतने generous नहीं जितना आप किसी stranger.
नहीं, आप generous हो, but it's
इतनी extent पे नहीं जितना आप stranger के लिए होगे. You said you tend to miss
but you
close to you.
Yeah, exactly. But he'll do anything for his kids. Anything. He'll do anything for his brothers. He'll do anything for us. And he's done more than most fathers are able to do in 10 lifetimes. But there's that thing, हाँ ये तो अपनी है, ये तो अपना ही है.
सब अपने.
We can take this for granted. We can take that for granted. And this is a human nature thing. But he is such an exemplary, abnormally generous person otherwise. I'd invite him to introspect about this behavioral pattern.
थैंक यू सो मच ये वीडियो एंड तक देखने के लिए, और ऐसे ही इन्फॉर्मेशनल एंड एजुकेशनल क्लिप्स के लिए राजशमानी क्लिप्स चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए।